Oh yeah. You could be the fan of the game though.
That one shirt I really thought about it.
that?
Why am I not seeing it? Usually I like go to this and then what you're doing is
I don't know. Exactly. What if one way, sent in the zone by Gross. Kept in by Mollenkamp. Gross with it. Mollenkamp's shot hit a stick and went wide. Moses got it now. Shot got on goalie. Turned aside. Tbirds will send it in our end. Mollenkamp sends that into Tbirds in. Everybody changes. JT will cover that. We'll get a defensive zone face-off coming up. Came to Gok off that face-off. Runs up on Peyton's stick now. T-Birds send it back our way. Peyton's got it. Just out of Ben's reach. That's going to go for icing. Puck comes out of the zone off that face-off. Peyton wins the race to get there. His shot is going to be knocked down and covered by the goalie. T-Birds won that face-off. Cade was able to keep that puck in the zone there. T-Birds have it though. Able to get a clear back and forth in the neutral zone there. T-Birds eventually send it in our end. Cade's back to retrieve. Shot blocked there by Gaka. Peyton with it now in our own end. coming through the neutral zone, makes a man miss, lost the handle. Ratcliffe has it now. He's taken to the ice. T-Birds come out of there with it. That was intercepted by Reed right at the blue line. Was able to keep that in the zone. Noah stuck in the zone there, so it stays on side. Smith able to send that back in. Irons a shot there, hit a stick and went way up in the air. Tbirds will send that one for icing. T-Birds came out of that face-off with it, send it back our way. Gross knocked his man to the ice, no call there. Brock's got the puck. That winds up in the T-Bird zone. We might have been offsides, but they didn't see it. T-Birds have it now on their own end. Taken away, Ross had a backhander on net there, turned aside by the goalie. We're going to get a clear there. It's going to go for icing. T-Birds able to force it out of the zone. Sent back in our end. Cade back to retrieve it. Camp sends it back to the T-Bird zone. They re-enter here. Lost the handle there, came back to their own end. Moses picked that puck up. Had it knocked off the stick. T-Birds are going to send it in. They're going out for a change. Guess they're going to get icing here. T-Birds came out of that face-off with it and send it in our end. I think that's twice in a row there they called the T-Birds for icing. I didn't see it. Puck is in the T-Bird zone. Mannion there with the takeaway. Tangled up there. The goalie's able to play to the sideboards here. Winds up back with Mannion. T-Birds have it now. Shuma sends that in. Lawrence has him now, sends it in deep. Ben's the first one there. Cleared by the T-Birds, back, gonna go for icing. Forced out of the zone there by the T-Birds. Ben sends that forward to Colton. He's coming in the zone, drops it for Peyton. Tried to get him with the change up there. Goalie played it aside. T-Birds knocked off the puck there in our end. Colton plays that across to Peyton. Send in. Good stick there by Colton. Is able to keep it in. Reed picks it up. Backhander steered wide. He's tied up. T-Birds have it now in their own end. They're able to get a clear there. No icing. I'm not sure why that was not called. How was that not icing and the other two were? Like, gee. Face-off was won back to Gaka, played forward. It winds up in the T-Bird zone there momentarily. They've got it coming our way, though. Carson played that forward to Ratcliffe, knocked away, winds up back with Ratcliffe. Played back to the neutral zone. Gaka sends that in. We got to check up. Kept in by Reed there. Over towards Ratty. Played it to the far corner. Carson there. Winds up back with Ratty. Has it taken away. Gets it back. Carson behind the net plays it over to Reed. Irons keeps it in there, sends it to the near corner. T-Birds play that around. They're gonna force it out of the zone there. Here comes Drayden with it now, enters the zone. Shot sent wide to the near side. Comes all the way around back to Smith and our end. Chips it forward towards Hank. Got by him. T-Birds pick it up. Coming our way. Forced out there by Ross, I believe. T-Birds back to collect it. Shima is able to send that for icing there. Gross with it behind the net. Off the glass, up through the neutral zone. How are we not? I guess we won't wave that one off. Tbirds able to keep that in the zone there. Brought's got it. Lost it in the corner there. We got a trip on the Tbirds there coming up. Delayed penalty here. Peyton's got it. Brought now brings it forward and knocked off his stick. That'll bring the whistle. So we'll get a power play coming up here. Harp came out of there with it, Ben with it now. Feeds it across here to Castor. Towards the net, fed across towards Peyton, drops to irons his shot. Hit a mass of people in front there. Harp plays it to the corner. Drops it for Ben in that same corner. Back to Peyton. Now to Harp. Peyton once again. His shot turned aside by the goalie. Peyton sends it over to Irons. Shot did not get through. Ben's pass was deflected. T-Birds will get a clear there. JT leaves that for Irons. We got a few changes happening. Irons skates it in. Circles down around behind the net. Tries to get that to Moses. He's able to keep it in. Brown with it. Feeds it to Cade. T-Birds will get a clear. Chase brings it out. Up to Brown. Skates it in. Up towards the blue line. Chase has got it. Brown to the box for roughing. Gaka gets a clear there. Nets off. Shot blocked there by Ben. Puck is loose in our end. T-Birds will win the race. Maintain possession. Saved by JT there. Blocked up into the netting there. I think the puck came out of the zone there. We're going to get a neutral zone face-off here as the penalty expired. Puck comes out to Cade in the neutral zone, sends it over to Brody. Forward into the zone off Drayden's stick, lines up with Ross. Back to Drayden. His shot turned aside by the goalie. Good stick there by Brody. Puck lines up with Hank in our end. His shot was blocked there. T-Birds get a clear. Brody back to collect the puck. Peyton sends that forward to Ben, skates it in the zone, gets hooked there. Hook slash, whatever you want to call. I mean, Ben with it again. In the back of the net. Ben.
They were working.
Let's go, get it back.
Puckson into our bench there. Off the T-Bird stick. We'll get a neutral zone face off here. Smith sends that forward. Could not connect with Ben. That goes for icing. Get a defensive zone face off coming up here. Smith played that forward to Harp, sends it forward. Harp will get that to Ben. Ben came out of the corner there with it, left it for Harp. Left it for Ben. He comes out of the corner. Left it across to Harp. Mullenkamp back to Harp. Ben with it again. Drop for Peyton. Drops for Harp. Tried to connect with Peyton. Come to the middle. Hit a stick on the way. T-Birds have it now. They're going to send it in as the period concludes. Puck came to Schum off the face-off. He sends that in the T-Bird zone. Going to be kept in there by Brown. He comes out of there with it. Shot on that glove by the goalie. It's going to come out of the zone there. T-Birds pick it up. Got some speed. Lost the handle. Gross winds up with it. Winds up back with the T-Bird. They've got possession now. Shot sent wide. Gross picks the puck up. He's coming through the neutral zone. Makes a move. Skates it to the far corner. Scrum ensues. Puck comes out, nobody sees it. T-Birds pick it up, coming our way. Good save there by JT. Reed winds up the puck there. We're able to force it out of the zone. T-Birds coming back our way. Lost the handle. Cade plays that over to Gaka. Forward. That's going to go for icing. Irons will send that for icing. T-Birds will win that face-off. That pass got all the way through the slot to the near board. Puck comes to Brody, out of the zone, off the glass. Carson sends that forward to Castor. Knocked off the puck. T-Birds have it. Send it back our way. Icing is waved off. Brody gets that to Carson, up to Castor. Coming in. Loose puck winds up with Irons, and now back. Actually, that's Ratcliffe in the far corner. Tied up. Ratcliffe comes out of there with it. Puck comes to Brought. Shot is blocked. Back to Brought though. Sends it down low. Hank's got the puck now. Lines up with Brought again. Shot wide there. Loose in the slot. Had Drayden in the area. Back to Brought. He sends it back down low. Tbirds. Collect, able to get it in our end. Smith sends it this way to Gross. Lost the handle. Shot blocked there. I think it was Drayden. Looks like he's feeling that one. We're going to send that for icing. Good defensive zone face-off coming up here. Colton enters the zone with it. Tried to get that to Ben. Ben gets it back to Peyton. Lines up with the T-Birds. Back to Chase, though. He sends that forward to Ben. Lost the handle. T-Birds are going to force it out of the zone here. Ben sends it back in. T-Birds will be back to retrieve it there. I'll send that for icing. Colton shot there, turned aside by the goalie. Puck comes out of the zone. Chase has got it. Gets it over to Cade. Gets it up to Colton. On to Ben. Loose now. Peyton comes out of that battle with it. Winds up with Colton. His pass hit a skate and deflected. T-Birds have it now. Shot high and wide. We can't. What? What is the call? Yeah, let's see what they do here.
Did you see what happened?
No, I didn't. Yeah, I don't know what they're going to call there. I mean, I don't think it was interference when the puck was there. Tbirds had possession there off that faceoff. Comes out to the neutral zone. Mannion's got it coming in the zone to speed. Lost the handle there. Played into the corner by Schuma. Sent all the way back around by the T-Birds back. Smith's got it in our end. Pressured though, lost the handle. Shot got to JT. He was able to turn that aside. Pad save, I believe. Puck winds up to Smith. He's going to send that in. Goalie knocks that aside with his blocker. T-Birds send it in. Carson picks that pass off, sends it up towards Castor. He got a stick on that. It's tied up, no icing. It's going to go all the way back into the T-Birds end, but they got it now. Kept in there by Ratty. Ooh. T-Birds won that face-off. Skated in. Pass was deflected there. Carson wins that battle, sends it in the T-Bird zone deep. T-Birds now coming back our way. Noah with it now. Over to Brody. He's going to send that in. Puck lines up with Hank, back in our end, forward to Ross. Chips it in the zone. He's going to try and chase it down. Hank has it, over to Gross. Shot wide, far side. Comes to Ben. Sends it back to the far corner. Ben with it again. Gets it to Ross, now Hank. And that comes out of the zone. Chase sends that forward to Ross. He's going to skate it in. Drops it to Ben. Ben drops it down in the corner. Hank's there. Played on towards Ross. T-Birds got a hold of it though, and they're going to get it clear. It's going to go for icing. All right, we're gonna get a Zan break here, so we'll be back here in a few minutes. Puck lines up in the netting there off the face-off. We'll do it again. Comes back to Gaka. Makes a man miss. Plays it down in the corner. Got by Harp. Tbirds will get a clear there. That might go for icing. Harp came out of there with it, fed it to Peyton. Knocked off the puck. Comes back to that corner. Ben comes out of there with it. Gets it to Peyton. Makes a man miss. Cuts to the middle. Lost the handle into the far corner. And clearing attempt fails. Kept in there. Harp. Drops it to Ben in that far corner. Back to Hart, but he was knocked off of it. Tbirds will get a clear. That's going to go for icing. Tbirds come out of there with it. Caster enters the zone. He's got Carson coming with him, fed across. He was interfered with. Took a big spill there. We go to the power play. Puck comes to Irons off the face-off. He gets it to Caster. Down to Ben. Back to Caster. Trickles through the crease. That's up into the netting. Comes to the corner off the face-off. Harp comes out of there with it, gets it back to Irons. Shot towards the net. Knocked down by the goalie. Played to the far wall by the Tbirds. Irons. We get down to Harp. Ben and Caster in the battle over there. Tbirds come out of there with it. Good stick by Harp. Keeps it in the corner. Ben comes out of the corner with it. Gets it to Caster. Castor feeds it over to Peyton. Circles behind the net. Got across towards Harp. Hits the wall. Harp's got it now. Over towards Castor. Ben fed that to Harp. His shot was turned aside by the goalie. Get a clear there. JT's going to leave that for Irons. We got some changes. Irons feeds that up to Peyton. He enters the zone, cuts towards the net, fed it across to Drayden. Couldn't get a good handle on it. Feeds it to Brock. Back to Drayden. Over here to Peyton. Back to Brock. His shot turned aside by the goalie. Drayden with it. Over to Peyton. Peels back towards us. Drops it for Gross. Sent towards the net. Hit a leg on the way. Comes out to Brock. Ross has it. Gets it to Gross. Over to Peyton. Shot high and wide. Brock keeps it in there. Drayden gets it to Ross. Far corner. Sends it back down low. T-Birds get there. Gross keeps it in. T-Birds collect it. And they will send that for icing. Puck comes to the near wall, sent towards the net by Chase, bouncing everywhere. Hanks got it. Feeds it up to Chase, shot towards the net, blocked, kept in there by Cade. Comes out of the zone, Chase has got it over to Cade. He sends that back in. Castor wins the race. He's got the puck fed towards the slot. Had Hank coming in there, but the T-Birds intercepted that pass. Castor's got it now, back in our end. Up to Cade. Skates it in. Sent it towards the net, off a stick. Goalie catches that pop-up. T-Birds come out of that face-off with it, coming our way. Pad save by JT there twice. Puck is played to the corner. Another pad save by JT there. Puck comes to Mannion. He's able to chip that up and out of the zone. Gets past Schuma and the T-Birds defender. Schuma wins the race. Sends it up across the far corner. T-Birds eventually collect it. I'm going to send it in our zone. Smith with it. His pass hit a skate, comes to Brown. He skates it in the zone. His shot is off a leg up into the protected netting. I think the net's off here. We'll get a stoppage in the offensive zone face-off. It's up into our bench. We're going to get offensive zone face-off here. T-Birds come out of there with it off that face-off. Back and forth there. Puck winds up in the neutral zone on the T-Bird stick, sent into their bench. Chase now in the neutral zone, sends that in, coming around near corner here. Hank there gets a touch on it. Ross also. Ross gets that over to Ross. That across towards Chase. His shot towards the net, gloved by the goalie. Puck came to Hank off the face-off. He got a shot off, gloved by the goalie, so we'll get another offensive zone face-off coming up here. Puck came to Hank again. He plays it over here towards Gross. He's just going to send it down low. Hank with it. Gross now. Drayden feeds it back to Gross, makes a man miss towards the net. His shot is going to be controlled by the goalie. Send into our end. Okay, there plays it to the near wall. Puck comes out of our zone. T-Birds have possession. Winds up back in our end off a stick. That'll do it for the second. Send in the zone by Harp. T-Birds send that around. Iron's able to keep that in far corner. Ben leaves that for Peyton. Plays it on towards Harp in the near corner, back up towards Smith. Got by him. That's gonna go for icing. Puck comes back to Smith. His shot is blocked up into the netting. Puck comes to Peyton there. His shot is just wide. Puck comes out of the zone. All the way back to our end. Irons gets it over to Smith. Up towards Peyton. Knocked off his stick. Smith with it now. Play to the far corner there. Irons back to help up to Peyton. He sends it out of the zone. I didn't get the call. I'm not sure what we're doing, but it's a defensive zone face-off coming up. T-Birds won that, played it to the near corner. They have possession, got to the middle. Couldn't connect there on that centering pass. Mannion's able to force it out of the zone. T-Birds send it back in. Broady's back to get it. Makes the attacker miss. Plays it forward towards Mannion. Gets it to Brown. Puck is loose. Mannion sends that in the zone. Played forward by Brown. Winds up with the T-Birds. And then to Shuma. Sends it back this way. Send back in. T-Birds in. We're offsides. We got to check up. All is well now. Sent back in our end. Cade's back. Sends that forward towards Hank. Brings it in the zone. Lost the handle there. Now with Ross. Across to Ellenberg. His shot is turned aside by the goalie. Comes back to Ellenberg. Got by him. Chase is back to get it. Lost the handle. Plays it over to Cade. Up towards Hank. Into the T-Bird zone off Hank's stick, but they've got it. Kicked it. Hank's got it back. Cuts to the middle. Knocked off the stick. Got it back. Sends it down low. Gets by Ross and onto the far corner, where it's eventually kept in by Hank. Played back towards the corner. T-Birds have possession now. Comes to Smith. His shot. Turned aside by the goalie's blocker. Hank's got it. Tries to get that to Drayden. Couldn't connect. T-Birds coming our way. Ratcliffe now has it in our end. Makes a man miss. It's coming through the neutral zone. Played forward towards Carson. T-Birds get a clear there. Castor and Carson force that back in the T-Bird zone. Puck comes around towards Smith. He gets it to Ratty. Pass across to Gaka. His shot was blocked. That's sent back towards the net by Smith. Went wide. Ratcliffe now sends it back to that far corner. Ratcliffe now finds the puck again. This is coming back to Smith here. Over to Gaka, towards the net, wide. Back to Smith. Over to Gaka. He's going to drop it down in the corner there for Carson, but T-Birds come out of there with it. Smith now sends that forward towards Harp. Couldn't get a handle on it. T-Birds coming back our way. That's going to wind up on net. JT's going to cover it. That shot was sent towards the net, went wide off a few skates, I believe. Ben sends that forward to Peyton. Gets it back to Ben. Gonna have a trip on the T-Birds here. We'll go to the power play. Harp gets over to Caster. Exchanges with Ben. Send across to Peyton. Shot on goal there by Irons. Going to be gloved by the goal. Peyton with the puck. Gets it down to Harp and back to Peyton. To Irons. Back to Peyton. Shot is blocked. Comes back to Peyton. He sends it down to Harp. Harp off to Peyton. Peels back. Back to Irons. Shot towards the net. Pad save by the goalie. They're going to get a clear. Back to JT there. Going to give it off to Irons. Off the Chase. He skates it in the zone. Gets by a man. Gets on net there. Turned aside by the goalie. Chase feeds that over. Ross is able to keep it in the zone. Has it knocked off his stick. Puck's going to come out. Chase is back to retrieve it. Ross feeds it up to Brown. Shot turned aside by the goalie off his shoulder. That's going to come all the way out. JT's out to play it. Gets it over to Gross. Up to Schuma coming through the zone. Mannion now. Cuts to the middle, had it poked away. Comes to Cade. We're offsides. Puck came to Hank off that face-off. He is in the far corner battling. Ross comes out of there with it. Lost the handle. Oof. I don't know that we needed that stoppage. Puck is kept in the T-Bird zone there. Drayden sends it forward towards Hank in that corner. Centering pass didn't connect. T-Birds get a handle on it. Out to the neutral zone. Hank's got it. He's coming in. Ross is trailing. Feeds it to Ross. His shot is just high. T-Birds now coming our way. Cade with it now. Hank on to Caster in the zone. T-Birds coming our way. Send in. Smith back to retrieve it onto Ratty. Forward to Caster. Knocked off his stick momentarily there. forced into the zone. Ratty just missed getting a handle on that. T-Birds coming back our way. Caster with it now again. Up toward Ratty's going to win that race. Oh, that's it! Great hustle there by Ratty. Good pass by Caster. Peyton came out of there with it, skates it in, tried to drop that to Harp, couldn't connect. T-Birds coming back our way. Ben comes out of there with it. Puck is forced out of the zone, sent back in by the T-Birds. T-Birds putting on the pressure here. That blocked by Harp there. He's able to force the puck out of the zone. Got by Peyton. He's going to win the race, though, I think. Got there at the same time as the T-Bird scrum. Oh, my gosh. What a terrible call. Puck comes to Gross off the face-off. He gets it clear. T-Birds came in there with speed, knocked off the puck, regained possession, sent on net, pad save by JT, played to the far wall. Ratty gets it clear there. It's going to go all the way down. Shot was turned aside by JT. Puck was loose. To the far wall. Comes out of the zone. T-Birds have it now. Re-enter. Drayden gets a clear there. Everybody changes. T-Birds now coming back our way. Shot on net, turned aside by JT. Puck lines up with Cade. His clearing attempt to the man, pop it up in the air, kept in the zone there. Send back deep, winds up with Cade again. He gets it to Ben. Ben comes through the neutral zone. He skates it in. Drop that for Chase, but it's out of the zone. We got to regroup here. Chase sends that in. Played to the corner by the goalie. Tbirds will get that sent out. They're going to win the race. Shot high and wide by the goalie, Tbirds player there. We're going to get a penalty on Ryan. Good back check. There by pressure back by Cade. Anyway, to rush that shot. Ryan to the box. Two and 10 for Mannion. Carson's going to serve the minor. Irons sent that wow, that was a terrible bounce. Tbirds got a shot there, turned aside by JT. Puck winds up in the far corner. Kept in the zone there by the Tbirds. Good stick there by Gross or Drayden, can tell which one, but do get it clear. Another clear by Irons there. He goes off. Tbirds back to regroup. Halfway through this penalty kill. Tbirds send that in. Trickles to JT eventually. Shot got through. JT turned it aside. Pad saved. Do get a clear there. Couldn't tell who that was. Comes all the way back on the Tbirds goalie. Drayden takes that away. He's going to chip that in. Gets on net. Glove there by the goalie. Get a defensive zone face-off coming up. Sorry, offensive zone face-off coming up. Sorry, about 15 seconds left in this penalty kill. Just realized I didn't have it on the clock. Tbirds coming our way. JT leaves that for Chase. He is going to get the clear. Comes out to the neutral zone. Even strength. Tbirds enter the zone. Centering pass deflected there by Chase. Picked up by Gaka. Sent up towards the blue line and out. Castor with it now, feeds it over to Gaka. Up to Ben, he's going to send that in. Tbirds back to get it. Poked away by Gross there. Puck comes to Hank, he skates it in. He's got Ben coming with him. He's got Castor with him, sorry. Comes to Ben in the slot. Poked to the boards. Castor collects it. Feeds it up towards Gross, comes out of the zone. He's got to peel back and feed it over here to Irons. Irons feeds it up towards Ben. He's going to send it in. Far corner. T-Birds back to collect it. Played to the far corner by the T-Birds. Ben sends that out. That's going to go deep into the T-Bird zone off their stick. Sorry, we got 10 seconds left here. Clock management's been terrible on the broadcast. That'll do it.
Great.